Hey, are you silently suffering alone in a certain area of your life? Feel as if there is no one you can talk to who truly understands your life, what you are facing or been through? Well, you are in the right place. Welcome to Her Authentic Journey, the podcast. I am your host, Navasia Collier, Personal Resilence Mentor. And I believe the secret key to the more you and I truly desire in life is found within our authenticity. This podcast is here to shift the hindering mindset and finally normalize conversations we have been taught to refrain from for generations as the strong, independent woman. We are finally owning, embracing, and sharing where we were, who we are, and who it is we are becoming. You will hear myself and other resilient guests from different walks of life. However, you will be surprised in learning as women, we may have shared the same story, faced similar feelings, situations, and questions in life. So listen in to another woman who sees the importance and power of sharing her authentic journey. Welcome back to Her Authentic Journey, the podcast. Today we have a guest, Miss Kendra Nicole. I've had the pleasure of working with Kendra Nicole myself. I met her in the business incubator, and she'll tell you a little bit about what she does. Hey, Kendra, how are you?
Hey, Navasia, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Kendra, let us know where you from, who you are, what is it that you do?
Okay. Well, my name is Kendra Nicole. I am a wellness master motivator. The name was kind of given to me, and what I do, I help women embrace themselves no matter what shape or size by having them love their body and shape that they're in, and knowing that no matter what, you can still work out, you can still change the way you think, because it's all mental, and then your body will follow. So I just help be that extra cheerleader by training you, by coaching you, by listening to your story, because triggers from work, it all affects like your life and your wellness. And I just motivate you to know that it's okay. You're going to do fine. We fall off, we pick back up. And that's what I do. And I love doing it. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and I currently live in Virginia though, but I love my city. And that's where I'm from.
Master Motivator. That is a great name for you. Mainly because I got to experience that myself. You definitely have a way of motivating with a big smile. I know one of your slogans is sweat and smile. You definitely pushed me through on the days I just felt I couldn't get through it.
Thank you.
That name fits you very well. So let me know about your journey to becoming the Master Motivator. Were you always a Master Motivator? Is this something that you maybe needed early on in life? What has led you to this?
That's a really great question. Thank you. So it was one of those things that, you know how things are in you, but you don't know that it's in you, but other people know that it's in you. Like that for me. I'm like, oh, well, no, they see this, but I'm like, no, I could never do anything like that, because it was honestly a lack of confidence within myself, where I'm like, no, who's going to listen to me? But I will always have friends or family members asking me different questions when it came to like wellness, came to, how do I stay so positive? How am I always smiling? Because like you said, sweat and smile is a logo for like a slogan for me. I'm always saying, hey, you're going to sweat, but smile through that. Know you're doing something better for yourself. So it's like, I needed that for myself when I was younger, but I didn't have what I have now. I didn't have, like I said, the confidence that I have now. And it took a breakdown within a personal relationship with me, that I was talking to God one day, walking, and was like, look, hey, I don't know what else to do. I've gone through this relationship. My heart is broken. And it really affected me mentally. It affected me physically. Like I was like, okay, what next? And it just happened. Like, hey, he was like, okay, look, you're doing what it is that you need to do. You're not alone. Share your story. Talk to other people. And it was a lady that I was working out with in the gym. And I was telling her like, hey girl, I'm really just stressed out going through this. And she was like, I would have never known because you're always so positive. You're like always in a good mood. You're always smiling. But I'm going through a divorce as well. And it was like, wait, other women are going through things as well, or it's work things, and I can help them lessen that stress, like lessen that stress by not being so hard on your outer body and healing your mind and the way you think. And it just kind of developed. And then I got into the incubator with you, and it really just grew. It grew. So that's a snippet of the story. It's a whole lot more.
As women, especially, our Black and brown women,
Mm-hmm.
we do face a lot of issues in our lives and a lot of times in our lives where we, feel like, things need to change, or we kind of internalize a lot. And initially, a lot of the solution that we seem to gravitate to is usually weight loss and dieting and all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad that you mentioned that it's about the mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? It starts there. And I didn't really understand that in the beginning, but and I still feel that a lot of women can still get hung up on that, because it's the physical, more of the physical. We want
Right.
to look a certain way, but
Correct.
it definitely starts with the mind. And you definitely understand that, and it definitely showed during our sessions together, because like I said, I went into the sessions like, okay, I feel like I have to do this, right? I feel like I have to do it. Like I want to do it, but in order for me to lose weight, I have to work out. So I wasn't, really excited about it, but
Mm-hmm.
you clearly understood that, and you clearly, it was a mindset thing, and you were inviting the whole entire time. Like I said, you
Thank you.
smiled through it all.
Thank
Even when
you.
I was fussing and all the things. So,
Yeah, because I understand. I
yeah.
know what it's like. And it's the struggles that I deal with for myself. Like, I had to take a break from social media, like, for like 4.5 months, because I was like, you know what? I need to still ground myself. I need to
Mm-hmm.
still just ground me and make sure my mental is okay, because you get caught up in, oh, hey, I'm doing all these things, but my physical still isn't changing. And we're human. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes women, we can be so mean to each other. We
Mm-hmm.
could be so mean, and then we could be so sweet. And then it's like you start to, do this thing of comparison, but you're like, no, hey, I'm still my own self. And I'm like showing up, showing up. I was like, you know what, Kendra, you need a break, because you're still working on a whole business. You're still working on you. You're still working on pieces with your mind. And if I can't show up fully for myself, how am I going to do that continuing for my clients? So I'm like, you know what,
Right.
no, you have to switch the way you think about things and know that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to just listen to your body, because if, and meaning your mind, including your body, because if you don't, then you aren't going to succeed when it comes to doing the physical part. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
keep like, oh no, I don't want to do this. It's going to seem like a chore when it's really not. It's really to help you feel better. Like it's really, and I'm now at the point in my life, like I don't work out to lose weight. I don't. I work out because it's fun. It feels good. It helps me like stay level. And, I do all other things to help with that as well. I read, I meditate, I journal, like I go on walks at the beach, or sometimes I will take just a drive, and I'm driving around nowhere. I don't do that now because gas is like almost $5. But
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yes.
like I'm like no.
Right.
But it's like I try to do something that is inviting. Like when it wasn't so hot, like I walk. So it's really the mental aspect, and learning to shut out the noise when you need to, or what triggers are might come up, or kind of like minimizing certain things that you may do. Like some people, it may be, oh, I've been watching too much TV. That affects your mind. Like
It
I'm
sure
like,
does.
wait, you like started like it gets in
Mm-hmm.
your head. So I'm like, wait, you might need to take a break on that. And for me, it was like social media. Yeah, I'm posting, I'm doing things, but I'm also like looking at all these other videos. looking at TikTok. I'm like, you know what, girl, no, wait a minute. You need to pull back. You need to pull back. So, and it helped. It really helped. It really, really helped. Because now I'm back clear. I'm showing up the way I need to. I'm still networking. I'm still getting women reaching out to me. I'm like, oh, okay. This is still it's still a thing. Okay, it's still working.
Right, right.
So
Things are still in alignment, right? Right.
yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes. So and you
How
need that.
amazing that is, because we can think that we're supposed to be busy and on all the time, right?
Yep.
Especially, I'm glad that you said that, you're serving other women. From a sense, you have a sense of responsibility, but your first responsibility is yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that you noticed that you needed a break for a moment and you allowed yourself to have that break.
Girl, I
Yeah.
was scared. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Kendra, are you sure? Okay, maybe just show up a little bit like this. And I was like, no, I need this. I needed that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, what if I'm not gonna get clients the way I need to? What if I'm not gonna be reaching out to a woman? What if that one person needs me and I'm like not showing up like that? And I'm
Right.
like, you know what? I need to do this for me, and it's still, like I said, it still worked. God was still like, no, I got you, but I need you to relax. I need you to refocus, rebuild, because you're not showing up the way you need to, because you're about to burn yourself out. You're
Right.
about to, like, you're trying to do all those things, and you have to realize that in order to keep growing in business, keep growing on your purpose, keep growing on your journey, you have to have some kind of clarity in your mind. You
Right.
do. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be right, because I still don't even show up every day. I have
Mm-hmm.
limited it down to like once or twice a week now,
Mm-hmm.
and that still is working. But I know what I'm
So
doing
you're
behind
still
the scenes.
impacting,
Yes,
even though
yes.
you have limited your visibility, you are still
Mm-hmm.
impacting. That's
Yes,
really good. That is really
yes.
good. You don't
And
have
I'm
to do
able to
all the
show up for
things.
people. Yeah, I'm showing up for women when they reach out to me. I can really talk to them a little bit longer, like, okay, hey, well, what's going on? And then it leads to, okay, hey, can I sign up for this? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm meeting women out in public more, and I'm like, okay, now they're ready to talk and do the coaching program. I'm like, okay. I
Mm,
had to pause in one area a little bit more so I can see really what was more in my face,
right.
like in my face on day-to-day things. So
It sounds like, yeah, you were in the moment of stillness, which can be hard, like you said,
mhm,
at first.
mhm,
Well, initially it
mhm.
seems hard, but you're right. You gotta, reset and recharge yourself, because especially when you're out here serving, other women, you need to come from a fuller place
Yes.
rather than just serving from the portions that you have available to you. I saw a post that you posted on Instagram recently, and what it said was, "I am still alive." You were hinting towards, regardless of what we may face and encounter in life, that I am still alive. Can you talk a
Mhm.
little bit more about that?
I did that because that's still, like I said, part of, I'm still healing as well.
Mm,
I'm still going through days where sometimes I can maybe just want to lay down. I'm like, you know what, I just want to be in this bed. But I'm like, you know what, God, I'm still here. I'm thankful, but I can't be so hard on myself, because of, I've come from a really low place. I've come
mhm.
from really, really functioning depression. And that's what I'm calling it. I know I was depressed, but I was still highly functioning. And to know that my body does not define me. Like, it does not. I'm still here. I'm still moving. I'm still thankful. I'm still blessed. And things may not seem like they may work out, but I'm still here. And it also, I was having a conversation with my mom, like things that she's dealing with health wise. And I'm like, you know what? I'm still thankful that I still have like my mom here. Like, it was a lot in my mind that hit me when I'm like, hey, you're still here. It could
Mm-hmm.
be a lot of things going on, but don't give up on your journey. If you, Kendra, you don't feel like working out today, okay, that's fine. You can do something for your mental because you're still alive. You're still in this race. You are still in this marathon. You are still going. Even if you take a pause, you're still here. You're still breathing. Don't It was me giving myself permission to breathe.
Mm.
Like to be like,
Right.
hey, girl, you're okay. And I know that if I needed that, other women need that too. Other women need to know like it's okay if you may be struggling right now and this bill, you're trying to figure out how to pay this or whatever. It's going to work out. You're still alive. You are still going to be blessed for another day. Like miracles happen every day.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody is always there. Like you have angels on this earth and people, it's still genuine people here. And it's okay if you fed your kids and you didn't really get to eat. Like I've heard a lot of things like it may not seem like it's okay, but it's going to be okay because you're still
Mm-hmm.
alive. You have that chance to try it again, to figure out another way, to pray another day, to just work it out. And I needed that. I know someone else needed that. And it's okay if your journey doesn't look like hers. You're still here. You're still doing it. You are still alive and well. And even if you have ailments, if your body's hurting, you're tired, like because I'm getting older. My knee was popping the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, what the world? I was like, I'm getting oh, what is going on? And but I'm like, you know what, girl, keep pushing through. I was doing squats. I was like, I know my knee just didn't pop. What is this?
Yes, I have the same
And I
experience.
was like, oh my
Like, where
gosh.
did
I
this
said, you know
come
what?
from?
Yes, but I had to laugh and just know, you know what, God, I'm still here. Thank gosh I'm still able to at least do these squats. Like
Mm.
I'm able to at least walk 10-30 minutes or 10 to 30 minutes or whatever. So I know someone else needed that. So
Mm.
it was for myself and it was for someone else. I don't know who read it that day. I just was like, you know what? All right, this is how I'm feeling. Boom. This is what
Right.
it
Yes,
is.
I'm sure that that helped someone. I'm sure it definitely did. So tell me about some of the initial, you don't have to get deep into it, but give us an idea of how you began this journey. Like, what are some of the initial steps for you to get into the mindset that you are in today? Because, like you said, you weren't always in that mindset.
I grew up, my mom took me to church as a child. And, as you get older, you kind of either stay going to church or you veer and you figure out your own path in
Hmm.
life. And I could be quoting the scripture wrong, but I know she's always said you raise a child in the way that you want them to go. And if they veer, they'll come back. I'm probably saying it wrong. So please, Bible quoters, do not kill me.
Hmm.
But I prayed. I
Hmm.
did. I was like, okay, hey, initially I was like, you know what? I know it's something more. I've always, of course, believed in a higher power. I've always known that I'm not just out here living on my own. Like I wake up every day, but somebody is pushing a button to be like, okay, hey, get up. I started to pray more, and then I started to write my affirmations out on sticky notes and post them in just little places that I touch every day, whether it was the bathroom, my closet, my clothes drawer. Like I'm pulling out clothes, I'm like, oh, here's a note. And I may have put clothes on top of it and I pull it out and it made me smile for that day. I started doing just small things for myself, whether it was just, like I said, going for a walk, because at first I was limited on like finances on what I could do on certain things of what I could do. So I started doing free things like, hey, let me just, like I said, go for a walk, or let me just go get some cold stones today. Give me the you like it size or the small size and just enjoy and just people watch. And then after a while, I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me see what else I can do more. Like I'm ready to really do more about personal training. I want to go deeper into it. How can I help do the physical part of it? And then I got certified. It really just started with small steps for me, small steps to help change to where I've become now, because it's been a journey. It's been now about, I want to say 3 years now, like officially, where I'm relearning myself, because I had to relearn myself all over again. Like I had to realize what Kendra liked, what Kendra loved, like outside of someone else and outside of trying to people please somebody else, because that was a real thing for me. Like, oh, and even outside of the relationship, just friends or family, like, okay, well, yeah, not really speaking up. Like I would speak up, but just kind of cautious of like, oh, well, I don't want to hurt your feelings, or I still want you to like me, but I'm unhappy about it.
Mm-hmm.
No. So I had to learn, I have a voice. I
Right.
had to learn back to like speaking up on what I didn't like and learning myself again and learning how I wanted to be treated, learning how I wanted to be talked to. And that really came from a lot of alone time, because I used to read a lot, and now I started back reading a lot, because that's something that I like to do, like just reading just different books, or like I said, going on walks and just really just enjoying outside sometimes. So I did a lot of alone time, talking to myself, talking to God, like, oh, okay, you're here. And then before I knew it, each day got easier. I tried therapy for a little bit. Then I tried just, really expressing myself. Not try, but I do. Talking more to my friends and letting them in a little bit more, because I've been very private on certain aspects in life. And even my mom was like, oh, well, you're sharing. You don't really do that. So I started to do that, like to let people know, like, hey, this was bothering me. I was really hurt. I didn't know how to cope with this. Like, me expressing that helped me. Like, it did. So it's a lot of steps, but
Mm-hmm.
those are some things
Right.
I do. I'm sorry.
I like how you were very transparent about starting with what you had.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of women need to hear that. I did the same as well. When you get to that point, is really like you mentally you feel you have no choice. You just have to start.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, want the listeners to know that it is okay to start with what you have. What you have is already enough to begin. So I'm glad that, you were honest about that. That, some women may not have access to all the things,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about figuring it out. Once you realize and, commit and begin the journey, it evolves, it
Mm-hmm.
quickly transitions into other things. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
also want to talk about how you spoke about alone time. That is very important. Very important. I feel like even though I'm a mom, and I have a family and all the things, and when I first started on my journey, looking back, it was a lot of alone time, like a lot. I had to be very intentional, because like you said, you have to relearn who you are and
Mm-hmm.
uncover, who you are. So I know the outside world likes to push in everyone's face, and that it's the things that we need, all the things that we need to acquire or buy, or all the things that is the solution. But sometimes it starts, well, most often it starts with you.
Correct.
You are the solution. So I'm so glad that you said that. Okay, I have one more question for you. You spoke a lot about, mindset. You're being very, authentic about your journey. I wanted to ask you, what words of advice did you need or would like to tell your younger self?
Oh, you are enough.
Mm-hmm.
You are enough. And it's getting me emotional, because when I was little, I used to think I was not enough.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I used to think, like, why is this not this, why am I being judged? I used to like be told, like, you're chunky or you're too dark. And it made me feel like, as a kid, like, are you enough for anybody? And I know my mom prayed for me because she's always shared that she prayed heavily that confidence and me knowing that I'm enough would show. And it took years for that to show up for me. So if I could go back and talk to my younger self, I would be like, girl, you are it. And I know that now. And it's like, I get so happy about it. That's why I'm getting a little emotional now, because it's like, I get really, really happy because I'm like, you have grown so much. You have grown so, so much. And to know what I know now as a kid, there's no telling where I probably would be, but it's like, but I'm where I need to be now. And I'm showing up the way I need to for anybody else who may have felt like I felt as a child. Or even if there's a child that's watching my page now because it's open, I'm not sure, but they know that you're enough no matter what. You're enough no matter how you may look to others. You're still enough. So I get, like I said, I get so happy from where I've been to where I'm now. I'm so, so, so happy about that. So happy to know that I'm enough and then some.
Right.
I'm enough and then some. Right. I'm like, okay.
Those words are so powerful. You can clearly see it, you know, in your smile. Like, I talk about your smile all the time because it's just, it lights up the room. It really does. While you're speaking, you smile the entire time.
Yes, I do.
So, yes, the confidence, it really shows up in you. I mean, I didn't know you years ago, and I know those tears, those are happy tears. And the fact that you understand the woman who needs to hear that right now, or the young girl who needs to hear that right now. That was very powerful. So, Kendra, is there anything else that you would like to add to that? Anything else we would like for us to know?
Let's see. I am working on some new things within my business, making some upcoming announcements on ways in which to continue to show up more, including the physical aspect, because I am a personal trainer. But I also want to give a little bit more on the mental aspect because that is the top part for me. So I will be making those announcements coming up. So please stay tuned. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me at Think Thick. That's ThinkThicc Fitness. 4 weeks. It's 12 sessions. Miss Navasia said it's really fun. Even if you don't feel like it's fun, you'll still be motivated. And I actually have, my coaching program. I love my coaching program. I think more than Sweat and Smile. So just DM me if you have questions about it. With the coaching program, so I can give a little bit about it. We meet once a week and we talk, we set up your week. We talk about those triggers. We go a little bit more deeper into the mental aspect to get you set up for your physical, especially for women who say have not worked out ever or at all, or are trying to get back in to the groove, or you've had a break, or you've had a baby, or it's just a lot. It's more of the coaching aspect in my 3-month program, and I absolutely enjoy that. It's more one-on-one time with me than the 4 weeks, but 4 weeks is still great. A lot can happen in 4 weeks. A lot. And yeah, just join me on this journey. Join me on this journey because, like I say, you are evolving no matter what shape or size, and you are beautiful, and you need to just grow like a beautiful sunflower.
That's beautiful. Well, Kendra, thank you for gracing us with your time today. Thank you for sharing your story and your authentic journey with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening to Her Authentic Journey, the podcast. I hope you enjoyed and were able to grab something meaningful from this episode. If so, please support by sharing with a friend, rate and review. You can also refer to our show notes for more. Until next time, remember, be true to who you are, not who you've had to be.